Next story I wanted to talk about is titled Florida Pastor Charged in Capitol Riot Urges GOP to Rise Up Against Homosexuality. Now, you may know about this guy because he actually really gets upset over Skittles, and it's pretty entertaining, honestly. I said last stream I was going to do a positive story at the end. This one isn't exactly positive, but it's fucking hilarious how bent out of shape this guy gets over Skittles. So we'll get there. We'll get there. For the moment, I wanted to read the article about this guy. Patriot Pastor is his name. Interesting name. Two things that should never go together: patriot, politics, and pastor, religion. There should always be a separation of church and state, but this guy doesn't believe that. So let's read this article by Beth Stoneburner on the Friendly Atheist website and see what it has to say. Earlier this year, Kevin Tuck, an officer with the Windermere Police Department in Florida, participated in the attack at the U.S. Capitol. He was arrested and charged with crimes connected to his alleged participation in July, then resigned the same day. Holy shit. This guy was actually charged for taking part at the Capitol. That's crazy. But unlike many other people facing similar charges, including his adult son, Tuck isn't keeping quiet. In a YouTube video released this month, the former cop, who also served as a pastor at the Lighthouse Church in Apopka, urged patriots to rise up against homosexuality. I'm actually surprised he resigned as a cop. I'm glad. I can't fucking believe we had a police officer out there who was very obviously a right-wing extremist if he was willing to take part in the 1-6 insurrection, and also a pastor. All three things: right-wing extremist, pastor, and a police officer. That's nutty. Anyway, this clip of him, I pulled this right off of his YouTube channel. It's 4 minutes long. It's pretty entertaining. It came out mid-August 2021. So let's give this a watch and see what he had to say for himself. By the way, it starts out pretty tame. He gets revved up quick. Let me give you an example before we watch the clip. It starts out like this.
Good Monday morning. Pastor Kevin here, the Patriot pastor coming.
Okay, so pretty tame, normal. And then it ends with this.
Pastor, to rise up, begin to do something about it.
Woo! He's a little heated. All right, let's start watching the clip.
Good Monday morning. Pastor Kevin here, the Patriot pastor coming to you on this Monday morning. Just want to touch base with you in reference to things that are happening in this nation. Things are moving very, very fast.
Oh, he sounds like a QAnoner with this. Things are moving very, very fast. I am constantly hearing this shit from QAnoners saying, there are indictments in the pipeline. They're sealed. They're going to be unsealed. It's happening now. Just wait till the dominoes fall. All that shit. I don't know if he's QAnon or not. I assume he probably is, but I don't know for sure.
And I want to encourage pastors and patriots to rise up and do what they're supposed to do, to raise people up and to get them to action. Nothing is more important. We look at January 6th. January 6th was a day that patriots just were fed up.
Yeah, again, this guy was at the January 6th riot. He was there, and he was arrested for it, faced charges, then was forced to resign, or chose to resign, as a police officer after getting those charges. So, we can all guess at what he has to say about the January 6th events.
Get them to action. Nothing is more important.
I wanted to address that one line that he said, get them to action, nothing's more important. He's correct. Action is very important for a movement. If you want a movement to succeed, the first step is spreading awareness, making sure everybody knows what's going on. They know that this is a situation that's playing out. The more awareness that you raise, the more likely it is that somebody at some point in time in some position may have the power or the authority or the position to push things, just nudge them in the right direction. That's why awareness is so important. You personally may not be able to do anything. I personally might not be able to do anything. But out of the however many people watch my channel, how many of those people are in the Watchtower Society, work at Bethel? How many of those people have some level of authority or have access to some information that could be helpful? How many of those people could just barely nudge things in the right direction? How many of those people are in the governing body members' ears and could say, hey, maybe this isn't the best idea in one of their meetings? Not many, most likely. But if my audience was made up of 6 million people instead of like 300,000, then how many people would be able to maybe just nudge things in just the right direction? That's why awareness is important. You personally might not be able to do anything right now. I personally may not be able to either right now. But a time will come for somebody at some point, hopefully, where they can nudge things in the right direction. That's why talking about this stuff is so important. And as the Patriot pastor here says, action is also very important. Let's keep listening.
Patriots are being arrested left and right, day after day, being arrested for trespassing?
Yes, trespassing. Guess what? You don't have the right to enter the Capitol building. You can't just waltz your ass in there. You trespassed. I'm surprised it wasn't something more serious. Just like you wouldn't be allowed on a military base either if you had no rights to be there. Yes, you pay taxes that fund that military base. That is accurate. That's quite true. You don't own that military base. The military base is owned by the federal government. The tax money that you pay isn't your money anymore. It's the federal government's money now, and they use it how they see fit. If you don't like how they're using it, vote to change it, or protest to change it. Don't riot. Don't try to start an insurrection. Don't break into restricted areas. That should be obvious. I don't know why I have to sit here and explain this shit.
You gotta be kidding me. You can steal an election.
Oh, he's getting ramped up now. You can steal an election, starting out with propaganda right off the bat.
You can steal an election, but you're going after patriots, people that love this country, people that would die for this country. I'm telling you, you are hypocrites.
Now, you don't love this country if you try to run an insurrection against the duly elected representatives. You can't tell me you love this country in that case. I don't believe you. Show me. Let me see your actions that show that you love this country. Attacking people, threatening people, putting up gallows outside the Capitol building, trying to get into restricted areas to seemingly kidnap people, carrying handcuffs on your way through, zip tie handcuffs. That's not showing me you love the country. That's showing me you fucking hate it, and you want to destroy it and remake it in your image.
You are hypocrites. All y'all are hypocrites, including the Republicans. They're arresting patriots that love this country. Black Lives Matter and Antifa destroyed cities and buildings and businesses. Mom and pop shops cost...
Citation needed? I haven't heard a single fucking word about Antifa destroying buildings and cities. What is he even talking about? I mean, there were protests. It's every American's right to peacefully protest. I obviously do not condone violent protest. I will never condone violent protest from the left or the right or the center or anybody at all. I don't give a shit. But I'm going to need citations on what you're saying here, buddy, about Antifa destroying cities and businesses and buildings.
And pop shops cost billions of dollars in damages, and the Democrats stood up for them and raised millions of dollars to get them out of jail. But the Republicans, the weak, I want to say a swear word, but I want to let you know something. These Republicans are weak. You're calling for the arrest because they trespassed? You got to be kidding me. How about the Brett Kavanaugh?
How about the Brett Kavanaugh? Okay, how about the Brett Kavanaugh? Can you give me a little bit more information? Is he just going to leave it at, how about the Brett Kavanaugh?
You got to be kidding me. How about the Brett Kavanaugh? Democrats went into the Capitol, stormed the Capitol, and went into offices demanding their way. But none of these people were arrested.
Hang on. Okay, so I guess when he says the Brett Kavanaugh, quote unquote, he's talking about legal proceedings where the Senate and the House have to hold hearings to confirm or deny a Supreme Court justice, right? That wasn't illegal. That wasn't trespassing. That wasn't storming anything or rioting or insurrecting. What about, quote unquote, the Brett Kavanaugh? I don't understand. I'm trying to find a connection here. Please, give me a fucking fig leaf or something. Anything.
These people were arrested. You all are hypocrites. The Republican Party is a hypocrite party. And the Democrats went on social media to push, to grab millions of dollars to bail these people out.
What is he even talking about? The Democrat... Wait, what was it?
The Democrats went on social media to push, to grab millions of dollars to bail these people out.
What? The Democrats went online to get millions of dollars to bail these people out? His head is just like all over the place. Just like way over there and back there. It's everywhere. I can't fucking nail down a single fucking point this guy's trying to make. He looks like he's looking at a piece of paper here. He's following an outline. And his mind is just everywhere. Like, what's his fucking point? I'm trying to figure it out here.
Dollars to bail these people out. I just want to let you know something. The Republican Party is weak. And we need to rise up and become conservative again. You remember what conservative means? Here we are.
Oh, God, he was just like right up in our face suddenly. He's sitting back here, and now he's right up in our face. Jesus Christ.
Again. You remember what conservative means? Here we are. We're embracing the homosexual lifestyle.
Oh, here we go. Embracing the homosexual lifestyle. Which Republican representative is, quote unquote, embracing the homosexual lifestyle? Which one are you talking about there, Mr. Patriot Pastor?
You remember what conservative means? Here we are. We're embracing the homosexual lifestyle as if this is normal. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate homosexuals. I got a lot of homosexual friends.
That's funny. That's funny. He actually did the meme, unironically. I have a lot of homosexual friends. I'm sorry, man. This is beyond parody. This dude is beyond fucking parody. Seriously. He doesn't realize how ridiculous he is right now, does he? I don't think he knows. It's actually funny.
When we're pushing it in mainstream, and every channel you turn on is the rainbow flag. And Pride Month, we're nowhere near Pride Month, but Skittles wants to continue with the Pride stuff, and everywhere you look is the Pride stuff.
What the fuck is he talking about? My God, he is so upset over, like, just Skittles. You know, I went and looked because I had no idea that Skittles ever did this, but from my understanding, I guess they, like, released white Skittles during Pride Month because they said something like the LGBT rainbow is the only rainbow that matters or something like that. Respectable, right? Super respectable. But I didn't have that context before. I didn't know Skittles did that. So walking into this clip and listening to this guy just bitch about Skittles relentlessly, seriously made me laugh my ass off.
But Skittles wants to continue with the Pride stuff, and everywhere you look is the Pride stuff.
Oh my God, he is so angry over fucking Skittles. Give me a break, dude.
Conservatives now want to embrace drag queens at all of our events. We're supposed to be taking action against the mainstream.
What is he even talking about at this point? Truly, honestly, I have no idea what he is talking about. Like, who is he talking about? Who is embracing the homosexuals, quote unquote? Which Republican representative is embracing the LGBT community? I have no clue who he's referencing right now. Like, is he just making it up or what?
And then Caitlyn Jenner comes to our events and we're all taking pictures as if this is okay. This is not okay. This is not conservatism.
Oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, I know Caitlyn Jenner went to an event recently, a campaign event, because she was actually running for governor of California, from my understanding. And, of course, running as a Republican, because Caitlyn Jenner is a Republican for some bizarre fucking reason. I don't know why she would be a part of this group that is so diametrically opposed to everything that she is. I don't know. I guess the best explanation is just propaganda, you know? Like, propaganda got into her head deep. It's sad to see somebody... I don't know, man. It's just really depressing. Anyways, so Caitlyn Jenner went to an event recently and got heckled and harassed by somebody. just some member of the Republican Party there, yelling at her and calling her a man and everything. Why? Why put up with it? Why take part? Why do this? Caitlyn Jenner, just leave. Leave it behind. Either don't run for office, because this is what you have to look forward to, or run as a Democrat. One or the other. I don't like Caitlyn Jenner's policies at all. Caitlyn Jenner would be a terrible, awful fucking governor. So I really hope that she never gets into any position of power. That would actually be very, very bad for society. But I don't know why she's putting herself through this at all. You don't really fully understand what it's like to be hated for some intrinsic attribute about yourself until you're hated for some intrinsic attribute about yourself. You don't really understand. I've been hated for being an apostate, and that fucking sucks. I can't imagine what Caitlyn Jenner feels when she goes to these Republican events running for governor, and she is ruthlessly degraded by people for no reason, just because. I can't know what that feels like. None of us can, probably, unless we're in that situation. As evil of a person as Caitlyn Jenner is, really, in the policy positions that she holds and the things that she does, the disgusting things she says, nobody deserves to be made to feel that way. It's really very sad. Anyway, let's keep listening to the Patriot pastor.
This is not conservatism. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. The Bible says to be ye holy. To be separate. Separate means come out from amongst them. We're not supposed to be a part of culture. We're supposed to be a part of the counterculture. This is disgusting. The Republican Party is calling for the arrest of patriots. You need to grow a set of balls.
Like, I'm not even sure what he's talking about. The Republican Party called for the arrest of patriots. What is he even talking about? I thought the Republican Party, stood behind the January 6th events, now at least, for the most part. Originally, they realized how optically fucking terrible it looked, so they stepped back and they just didn't say a word about anything. Some of them even stepped up and said the events on January 6th were terrible and they don't stand for that. Like Mitch McConnell, I think, said that, even blamed it on Trump at one point. But at this point in time, they've had time to regain the narrative, for lack of a better term, kind of recapture it and flip it around. And the January 6th events are largely viewed positively, again, by the Republican Party, pretty much. So I'm not really sure what he's talking about. And also, I have to say, using the term balls like that,
you need to grow a set of balls.
I'm surprised to hear a pastor say that in what's supposed to be ostensibly a sermon. I'm genuinely surprised.
That's what I want to say. You need to grow a set of balls. I'm tired of the Republican Party.
Like, the dude was afraid of, using a swear word earlier. Remember that a minute ago? He said, I really want to say a swear word right now, and he didn't. But he's okay with saying grow a set of balls. I don't know. This dude's just inconsistent. He's all over the place.
I'll tell you what, I might become a Democrat and change that party, because at least they got some balls.
I'm surprised to hear him say that. Okay.
Ridiculous what's going on here. We need to go back to becoming a conservative nation again. Back to nationalism. Being proud of this country.
I love how he's talking about nationalism as though it's a good thing. Although I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of studying, and I've come to find that some degree of pride in country, patriotism, if you will, is a good thing. Some degree. Not like this, obviously. This is fucking just off the rails crazy at this point. But some level of unity and camaraderie and loyalty to your friends and your country and your land is important, to hold that land and be willing to fight for it. If you don't have a certain level of patriotism among the people, among the population, then you're very likely going to lose that land to somebody else, because you can't get people into a group to fight for it. They have to radicalize people in the military to be willing to die, give their lives for their country. They have to instill this strong sense of patriotism, nationalism even, in people to accomplish the goals. Let me explain the difference between patriotism and nationalism real quick, because it's relevant here. Patriotism, as defined, is the quality of being patriotic. Oh, that's fucking helpful. Thank you, Oxford Dictionary. Devotion to and vigorous support of one's country. That's what patriotism is. Nationalism differs in the sense that it is not only devotion to and vigorous support for one's country, but the belief that every other country is inferior, that your country is superior than every other one. That's really the difference between patriotism and nationalism. I don't think nationalism is necessary. In fact, I think basically nationalism is toxic in all forms and shouldn't exist ever. But patriotism has its uses, mainly in defending your land, protecting it, making sure that other people don't come along and try to take it from you. That is important. There are countries out there that have no sense of national identity, no sense of national pride, and they have failed terribly as a country because they don't have that motivation that they need to defend it and protect it.
Being proud of this country, being proud of the red, white, and blue, being proud to go into the streets and celebrating what God has done in this nation. Because if we lose freedom here, we're going to lose freedom around the world.
Why the fuck are we around the world anyways? We shouldn't be like going into other countries and fucking colonizing them and shit. Let them live their own lives. Why are we even in there? If we lose freedom here, we lose it all over the world. This is a good example of toxic nationalism, toxic patriotism. This is way too fucking far. As if I even needed to point out that this is way too far.
We need to go back to God, back to family again. The devil wants to destroy the family, the husband, the wife, and the children, and change the genders around. It is such a mental disorder in this nation. If pastors don't rise up and the Republican Party don't rise up, y'all are going to lose your seats.
I doubt it. I think generally people like this are actually in the minority in the country. There are more reasonable people than there are nutter butters, like this guy is. There are a lot more nutter butters than there should be. 20, 30% maybe, give or take. But they are still in the minority, luckily. I don't think the Republican Party is really at risk of losing any of their seats because this guy is upset about the fact that they're, I don't know. What is he even upset over anyways? He's upset that they're accepting the LGBT lifestyle, quote unquote, in his own words. He's upset that Skittles, he's upset about Skittles. What's he even upset about? None of this shit is even real. This is all fabricated. This is all in his fucking head anyways.
Because people are rising up. So I encourage every conservative, real conservative, every Christian, every pastor to rise up, begin to do something about it. I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield. Yeah, I'm a little upset, but it's time to be upset. No more, we're not sitting on our knees anymore. We're praying about it. God's not going to do nothing. The God inside of you is telling you to rise up and become the man and the woman you're supposed to be on this earth. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the battlefield.
Wow. Those last couple sentences actually surprised the hell out of me. What was it he said?
Yeah, I'm a little upset, but it's time to be upset. No more, we're not sitting on our knees anymore. We're praying about it. God's not going to do nothing.
God's not going to do nothing. Wow, dude, I'm actually fascinated by the fact that he acknowledged that. What brought him to that point? That he accepted that God isn't going to do anything for him. Does that logically lead him to the conclusion that maybe he's on the wrong side? I mean, personally, I don't believe in God in the first fucking place, so I don't think I'm on the wrong side because God isn't doing anything for me. I just think God isn't real. But God's supposed to be on this dude's side, right? What happened? How can he sit here and justify to himself continuing his course of actions and acknowledge God doesn't seem to be on his side? There's like this cognitive dissonance in his head that's not like, it's not matching up here. Something is off here. The fact that he uses language like this,
supposed to be on this earth. I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield.
that's concerning in its own right. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the battlefield. The fact that he is using language designed to rev people up and get them into a warfare mindset should be concerning to everybody. I see this shit all the time from these types of pastors. This guy is the kind of thing we should be concerned about. I want to raise awareness about this kind of guy. But I will be damned if he is not entertaining as hell when he talks about Skittles. I said this earlier on a listener question, but I want to say it again. Don't get too wrapped up in this stuff. I know some of this can be stressful, and some of it can be intimidating and depressing. Don't get yourself down. Don't let yourself get wrapped up in the disappointment that comes with people like this spreading the bullshit that they spread. We just have to keep on keeping on. Do your best and don't worry about the rest. The chips have fallen where they've fallen. We were dealt the hand that we were dealt, and now we have to play it. As an activist, that's all I can do. I have to focus on the next step that's ahead of me. I never let myself get stressed out over things like this because there's nothing I can do to change it except what I'm already doing. So just take one step at a time, take a breath, and keep on keeping on.